Now we're talking about World Water Day. Every year we celebrate World Water Day to create awareness about the shortages we have in the country and how much success we have made over the period. But if you come to Ghana, yes, the celebration is always concentrated on the provision of water in our homes. And most of the time, we don't talk about the harm we've done to our water bodies. Well, this morning, Nana Jomo Sapong has joined us. He's president of the Friends of Rivers and Water Bodies. Good to see you, Nana Jomo Sapong. Okay, I know you've been on this water issue for a long time, for almost a decade, is it?
More than that.
More than a decade?
Since 89.
Since 89, oh, you've come a long way. Have you seen any major success? Let's talk about the river bodies first.
I can't talk about sources, but if I can talk about anything, I can talk about currently what is going on is we are abusing the water bodies because we think that we have it in abundance.
But we don't.
I can only talk about treating water bodies with careless abundance. Mm-hmm. We think the thing is in abundance, so we don't care, and that's how we treat our water bodies in this country. And if we talk about water in this country, people have limited water to the one running through the pipe, but they don't look at the source.
Exactly.
But without the source, we can't get the water through the pipe for us to use. But unfortunately, anytime we are talking about water in Ghana, we talk about the one we would drink. But that is just about the one we use for the domestic is about just 20% for factories, for everything. The 80% is to in agriculture and into energy. You know, the energy crisis we are facing. If we have managed our water bodies well, at the time of independence, it was said that all the 5 water bodies that is there, we are going to use them to generate power. Mm-hmm. That is the water basins, 5 of them. We only use the Volta one. We tried the Bui, but the rest have been destroyed. So that also adds up to the problem we are facing in the water, in the energy sector. And then talk about food security. Because we don't irrigate, we don't use water for irrigation. Then also we have shortage of food at certain times of the season, and the farmers is also bringing poverty to the people in the village because they farm only once in a year, especially those in the 3 northern regions. Mm-hmm. They farm only once because when it rains, then it's finished. So the way we are managing our water body, we are not managing water for general use, but we want to manage water so that, I don't know whether we are managing it, but the challenge is coming from the way we look at it, that we have it in abundance. But the thing I have been talking about over the years is that if you have something in abundance, sell it, because there are other countries who don't have water. And
so we could make so much money if we treated our water bodies very well.
I've just done some survey, and the survey is indicating that water is the number 1 employer in the country. When you talk about the industry,
it goes without saying
that employs more people is water. But nobody wants to focus on that it can create employment, and can we use that to also to reduce poverty.
Why is it so? I mean, you've done a lot of work in that area. What is accounting for this?
It is so because we think that we have it in abundance, and we are not sitting down bringing heads together and so that we can know the other uses of water. People don't even. One day we asked a question in a school. I was in a school trying to teach the students how do they get water through the tap. They didn't know it's just the stream and the runoff that goes into the stream for people to get water to drink. So people don't know the source of the water. They don't know that the rainwater, the runoff which is passing by, that is why somebody can defecate and put it in a water body, knowing that it's going into a dam to be treated for them to drink. Think about it, that when you are drinking water and the source, the way he came from, somebody put a human escape in it before you drank it. But you see, on more serious note, this year we are celebrating World Water Day, focusing on water supply and energy supply together. That is integrated management of water, water and energy.
Exactly.
It goes together because
they are interrelated and interdependent.
Yeah, so we want to manage it integrated. so that we don't talk about water and leave energy.
We need energy, so much energy anyway. And then we need so much water, and you need water to actually generate the energy.
Yeah, so the water to generate energy, we at the same time we need some for domestic use, we need some for industry, we need some for sanitation, we need them for, so in the past we have been managing water as water and sanitation, but this year we want to also bring in the focus on the energy sector, because it is said that as in about 5-10 years time, the world population as it grows will be getting shortage of energy supply. So because of this, if we don't manage our water carefully, we cannot depend upon the present system. And because of technology too, we have to make sure that we manage the water so that it can serve our purpose. Most importantly, hydro is the cheapest form of energy in the world. And as of now, if we don't use that one and try, sometimes we come with thermal plant, all those things. It's expensive. But if we want to reduce poverty, we don't solve problems with expensive solutions, but we have to come with average medium cost so that the poor people can access it. And then urbanization is also creating a lot of problems for energy supply. Some of the issues we are talking about in this country, we have not dealt with it holistically. That is why we face those problems. Because if we want to talk about electricity and we forget about the source of electricity, which is hydropower, go and see Volta River Authority, the river, the lake. People are mining in the Black Volta and the White Volta. So in the near future, it's going to affect the dam. It's going to affect hydro supply.
And you will think that we will take encroachment on these lands and other water bodies seriously, are we? I mean, you've been going on and on about encroachment, but do you see us making any positive inroads?
We are not making any road because the public servant or the civil servant have refused to do his work. They have the law. And
the people encroaching have also refused to be responsible.
That's why we make laws. We make laws so that those who don't want to abide by the laws, we enforce it. Okay. But if you don't want to enforce laws, then there's no law. Sometimes
you're sleeping on the job.
This country, it seems there's no law anywhere when it comes to the water sector.
But we have beautiful laws.
It seems. That's why I'm saying it seems. It is in the status book. You know, when you keep something in the books and you don't enforce it, what are you doing?
The implementation is always a
problem. One day I asked a friend, this is on just for a joke, I asked expensive joke, I asked a friend, an MP. I said, you continue to make laws at the parliament, but how many of them are being enforced? Yeah. And so are you happy making all these laws which cannot be enforced? That is what we can talk about in this country. Okay. But in Ghana, if we manage our water resource very well, we can also export them. At the moment, I learned people are exporting water to the neighboring countries, and it's a big business. When you even go to Mali, they are exporting water. Burkina Faso. I was in Stockholm some years ago, and the lady was talking, holding a bottle of water. And when he finished talking, he said, "Oh, this water is happy it's coming from Mali." Because he went there and he got this water and it's produced there. So Ghana, we are close to the Saharan countries. Why don't we take advantage of the water if it's in abundance? But unfortunately, we have destroyed most of our basins and we continue to destroy them. The Volta Basin is being destroyed by encroachers, by illegal miners. That one is what is producing the Akosombo, 60% of our electricity. So if we continue to do that, then we should know that sometimes we can blame government, we can blame people. But
you were nominated onto one of the boards. Which one was that?
The Water Resource Commission.
The Water Resource Commission. Rate the kind of work you did, considering the advocacy you had been doing before you were elected onto that commission.
When we went on the commission, I was on the advocacy committee, I was on other committees. But what we did was that we realized that there's a need to put in place a buffer zone policy. So we worked on that buffer zone policy, which now has been approved and is in place. So
it's up to people. Commission?
No, okay. It's up to the people on the commission now and the district assemblies to enforce the buffer zone policy, and the planners also must enforce the policy.
What is inhibiting the implementation of this policy?
I don't know why they are not implementing it. Especially, our partners are the assemblies, but the assemblies have not been able to help the Water Resource Commission because they make bylaws.
The commission is powerless.
They are powerful, but if you have partner and the partner who is on the ground is not working, what will you do?
So you wasted our time by coming up with a policy.
No, it's not.
If you come up with such a beautiful policy and you're unable to see to its implementation, and you're saying that the assembly, your other partners are not seeing it through, then you wasted everybody's time, didn't you?
It cannot be said so, because look, assemblies are there to bring governance at the local level. And the assembly is failing us in all sectors, not only in the water sector. Because when it comes to sanitation, they are failing us. It's up to us. The pressure of the people create the political will. So until we put pressure on them and demand results.
How do we put this pressure on them?
By talking about it, by questioning them, by asking them why they are not doing it. Because they make bylaws to
But did the commission question them?
Yes, they do it.
And what was the response?
They always say they will do it, but they are not doing it. Some of us have decided that we'll use order of mandamus to cause them to act.
Tell us about this order.
Well, we'll go to court and ask them to enforce their own laws, because the law establishing their local government tells them that you cannot destroy water body, you cannot deny somebody downstream.
But it is happening.
So if they are not doing it, you are a citizen, I'm a citizen, but some of us have decided that this time around we'll take them to court. So it's a very serious issue, but unfortunately Ghanaians are sitting there. But we have an NGO, we are a small group of people all around the country, but we want other people to join us so that all of us can work on this thing. Because at an NGO, we go around the world to talk about these issues. Sometimes we travel outside this country, some of the issues we raise, they take it up, work with it. But when you come here, it seems we think we have too much water. That is the problem. But we don't have it.
But we don't.
We don't have it. If you think we have water, check dry season. When it's raining, now everybody will get water. But when it's dry season, we don't get water. If you question, you ask why it's happening. So then you realize that when it's raining, the water is flowing always into the dam. So they are pumping it.
Okay.
But when it's dry season, there is a challenge. But to come to the real story, we should stop this encroachment. Legal miners destroying Ankobra, which was supposed to be a dam, which will give us drinking water, which is going to generate great supply electricity, is being destroyed. When you come to the Pra Basin, it's being destroyed. When you go to almost all the basins are being destroyed.
And the authorities responsible are sitting down, and this is happening.
But look at water company. They look at their dams. They supply us water.
It's
How
all
will somebody destroy your business and you sit there with your security? So we have to demand responsibility and action from them. And I'm taking this opportunity to tell them that if they don't stop what they are doing, we've been talking about this for far too long. This time around, we will take them to court to do their own work. We are not going to fight them. We are going to tell them that these are your rules. Abide by them. Because you see, my children will grow up and they need water. And they will set up businesses. They need water. And if they don't get water, you can't set up a business. Then sanitation is a problem. When you go to a place and there's no water, the place smells. And if you smell for long, you get upper respiratory disease. And when you get, you'll be sick. So the issues that we are joking with it, look at sanitation. Ghana, I learned we were 20% good when good proper sanitation was 20%. Now it has fallen to 13 point something, 14%. What are we doing? We are coming down the ladder. We should now agree to set up a benchmark that this is how we want to go. We need water for electricity. We need water. We are talking about Dunso. But if you are destroying the water body and the government official is allowing the water body to there, how can we use the hydro to generate the power? We are part of the problem or the solution. So all of us cannot sit down and say that this man is the problem, this man is that. All of us, if you are not the problem, solve it. A friend told me that in this country we have a challenge. The challenge is that we know all our problems, nobody wants to solve it. Because everybody thinks that somebody should do it.
We are too happy talking about it. Okay, let's look at the objectives of World Water Day this year in 2014. Water and energy. And I think the United Nations did a great job coming up with this particular theme. Now, the first objective is to raise awareness of the interlinkages between water and energy. Are we aware of the linkages? You've already addressed that one, so I'll go to the second objective, to contribute to a policy dialogue that focuses on the broad range of issues related to the nexus of water and energy.
Yeah, you see, we have to make sure that people understand this issue, that if we don't contribute meaningfully towards the water and the energy, we only focus on one aspect, it's going to create problems for us. So we have to come out with a policy and a guidelines that will make sure that we don't only think about water as domestic use, but we can use it to to get the energy which we need in this country, which will be cheaper than thermal plant. You see, sometimes we prescribe expensive solutions, but as a developing country, we cannot go ahead and be prescribing expensive solutions when we know we don't have the means to do it. So that is what I'll talk about when we come to that. And then also we are also going to look at the issues. I just want to be fast and talk about
this
because
I have just a minute.
Because when we talk about climate change and adaptation and mitigation, we have to look at water in terms of climate change and adaptation. When we don't look at that, we will have problems, because with climate change we have two extreme weathers, and these two extreme weathers create, one will bring flooding, one will bring drought. What do we do? Well, if we don't take care of water, we're not going to get energy, because when the drought comes, it will affect our dam. That is what happened some years ago.
Yeah.
So we can be talking and blaming people, but it's a serious issue now. Then we can also look at it in the form of poverty reduction. If people get water all year round, they can farm, they can do their business. You can go to your factory, you can run your industry, and it will reduce poverty. If we don't do that, that is going to affect us. Then we also look at it in the ecosystems. If we want to maintain our ecosystem, we need water to so that every life can exist.
So water is life, basically.
So we have to look at it in a broad base, not look at it only in a house. But I have a good news for my friends who are working for government.
What's that?
They are only fortunate to be working for government, and they should know that whatever you sow, you will reap. So whilst they are working for government, they should do their work. As you people do very well to bring people from all over the place, but I admire journalists so much, because the work you do, nobody stand on you to do it. You are able to do your work. Even your business owners don't come to you, they don't force you, but you are able to do it. Why can't the government official who have the support of government, who have the laws, cannot do their work? So we are telling them that they should do their work, or we'll go to court.
I'm with you on that one.
When
you're going to court, call me, please.
Yeah, you will cover the story.
No, I don't want to cover. I want to play an active role in the
Thank you.
Right, thank you very much, Anad Jumo Sabo, President of Friends of Rivers and Water Bodies.